helping out people everywhere.
Whatever a man soweth, that so shall he reap.
Yeah, and also when it speaks about love and when he speaks about hope, it talks about things like it's better for two people to walk together.
That's right.
Because if one falls and has no one to pick them up, then you feel sorry for them. And actually, it says, "Pity the man who
Pity the
has."
man,
Uh,
almost like Mr. T. Pity the fool
Pity the fool,
who
yeah.
walk alone.
But it gives us hope to just reach out. That's what I like about that word the most, I think. That hope is not a selfish word,
That's right.
but it's a word that reaches out to the people around us. And you can't have hope all by yourself. You have to have somebody have hope right along with you.
That's right. So it's a desire for good accompanied by the expectation that it's actually going to happen. I hope that definition alone is enough to make you a little bit happy. But not just that, we also happen to believe that at the center of our being, at the center of humanity, the greatest chance for hope is in the person of Jesus Christ. Now,
right.
I know I just said a word that might want somebody to change their channel and say, you know,
Don't
I'm
do
going to
it.
go watch something else. Don't change it just yet, because you might find that this person that I just mentioned, you've heard his name hundreds and thousands of times, but it's not until you let yourself have an opportunity to get to know him that you'll start to get to know the hope that is in him. Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Ooh, sounds scary. It's not. Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, died so that you might have hope and everlasting life. I don't know what lope is, but if it's on the table, I want it too.
I hope I never run into Lope. But I love, my favorite topic. It's Jesus, because he brought hope to my life.
That's right.
I think every Christian that you walk and that you walk with and you talk to them, you'll find that in common. It doesn't matter what denomination you are or what church you come from. If you've had an experience with Jesus, our testimonies, which is our life experience that we share with others, have one thing in common, and is the hope that we receive when things seem hopeless.
You know, and we're not going to be sitting here preaching to you. You're not going to see us opening the Bible as many pastors do. I don't, listen, I do it every Sunday. But this is not the format that we're going to use that kind of delivery. When I say present Jesus Christ, what we hope to do is present our lives as a witness for who he is. So that when you see us laughing, and that when you see my wife and I holding hands, or we might lean in for a hug and a kiss, when you see that you might even start to realize, you know what, that's something different that they might have. That you might see the relationship between me and the people that are putting on this program. When you see the guy on the street that you might get to see in a little while. When you see us out there, you're going to start to realize that there's more to it than just preaching the gospel and telling everybody about the wonderful things that Jesus is. Absolutely, but we've made a decision to live out loud.
That's right.
We're going to live this thing out loud, and that means we're going to live for Jesus.
The biggest question that comes to people's minds, especially when they haven't personally known Jesus, is whether he's real or not.
Right.
Our hope is that you would see Christ incarnate through us.
And what we hope to do with that is that we're going to have some folks, highlight some folks from right here in our community, all around Rhode Island, and maybe even some folks in Massachusetts, that epitomize hope. That they are that cornerstone of hope. They epitomize hope for, might be a single mother. It might be a father that's working 2 jobs to provide for his family. Boy, it might be a business entrepreneur. It might be a family that is going through a sickness, that they've seen hope in the midst of the darkest situations. But really, what we want to try to do is highlight people from our very community that are figures of hope.
And that begin conversations. You can't have hope, whatever you do, wherever you are, whatever lifestyle you have. And if you want to introduce hope to somebody else, you can't do that without conversation.
That's right.
And this is why these things like television, radio are so important, because they open up that the means of communication between, the home viewers and us and people in the community. And we just want to start some conversations.
You're right.
So that people know that there is hope out there.
And not only start this conversation, but I think that when you introduce Jesus Christ into the conversation, that's a conversation
That's right.
changer. It changes the entire conversation. And we're going to live toward that goal of presenting hope and bringing Jesus into the conversation, and with any hope of that is going to change the conversation altogether between church and community,
That's right.
between the religious and the non-religious, so that we can have a good, healthy conversation about it.
And we can get to know each other. But it's really important that that we know each other, because there's so many. What can we call them? There's so many labels placed on pastors and churches and things like that. And usually they try to label us with with perfection or
Yeah.
holiness and things like that. It's so important for us to show you that we're not perfect people. We're just as human as you are. And the difference between us and many other people is that we have found hope.
That's right.
And a hope that, okay, we're not perfect today, but we can strive towards perfection.
And there are people in our lives, honey, that inspire hope in us. There are people that have gone through things like what we've gone through, and they've made it. And if it weren't for them, we probably wouldn't have made it. And so these folks are the kinds of folks that we want to highlight and bring to your attention, so that you can see it's not impossible. You can make it. You could live a good life. You could live a life of positivity and influence others toward the good, and have people as role models right here in the area. Hey, listen, we are in an unprecedented area and time for, I speak for Woonsocket. We have a brand new mayor, a new chief of police, both of them that are hopefully going to be coming to talk to us right here on Hope TV soon. But we have an unprecedented chance to start over again. Why not start with hope and optimism?
And people who really believe in the future of our city and the people that live in it. And that's why it's so exciting to know that we're going to be working right along, not just with churches, but with the community and leaders in the community.
Yeah. And lastly, we want to make you aware of not just our church, but the churches in our community. We want to highlight the ministries that have been here working for so long, working so hard, and sometimes unperceived and unknown by you. You don't know the pastors by name. You don't know what they do as far as their ministries, but we hope to be able to bring their ministry to you, as well as a little place called Calvary Worship Center.
Yes, we would love for you to come by and see us sometime personally, but we also understand that there's different styles, and not everybody likes the same style of worship.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you go around Woonsocket and the region, you'll notice that there's different types of churches for different people, and that is a good thing. We want you to find a place where you can find your relationship with Jesus Christ and find your hope in Him.
And don't forget, it's Palm Sunday, and I know that it's about 3:15 or so right now on Sunday. Maybe you can still make it to Mass or church service, but it is Palm Sunday, and we thought we'd bring you some thoughts on Palm Sunday. We have a video for you to enjoy. Watch the video, enjoy it, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
There is peace and hope